We're going to further add to our application of finding the midpoints on the coordinate plane by using our midpoint formula in the coordinate plane to find an endpoint. So let's look at what we have here. Find the coordinates of the missing endpoint if P is the midpoint of EG. All right, well, like I often like to do, I want to just do a little sketch here. It doesn't have to be pretty, doesn't have to even be to scale. But I drew a little segment here, although it's kind of wavy. It should be straight. And we got segment EG, so that means that E is one of the endpoints, and G is the other endpoint. And I cannot encourage you enough to sketch things out to help you see what's going on. And then we're told that P here is the midpoint. Let's say it's right about there. Now, we're told that the coordinates for E is -8 and 6, and the coordinate for P is -5 and 10. And we want to find the ordered pair or the coordinates for endpoint G. Well, let's see. If we were to have our endpoint formula, let's say we're trying to find P of X, and if that endpoint then is equal to X1 plus X2 over 2, and if P of Y coordinate, is equal to Y1 plus Y2 over 2, I can use that formula to help me find the coordinates for G. Now, in this case, P of X would be, over here on the left, would be -5, and that would be equal to X1, which is -8, plus X2. Now let me put over here on G, we would say X2, comma Y2, all right, over 2. And we want to find what the value of X2 is. Well, I got -5 equals -8 plus X2. And if I wanted to solve this, I'm first going to multiply both sides of this equation by 2. That would clear out my denominator. And let's see. I'll do it like this. So then we would have 2 times -5 equals -8 plus X2 over 2. And let's put that in parentheses, times 2. Well, on the right, the 2's are going to cancel. And 2 times -5 is -10. And now that is equal to -8 plus X2. Well, let's add 8 to both sides. So we're going to add 8 to both sides. Well, -10 plus 8 is going to be -2. Over here, the -8's and the plus 8 are going to cancel. And so X2, I'm left then with X2 is equal to -2. So the coordinate for G in this situation is -2. Now let's go and apply the same thing over here and find the Y coordinate. Well, P, in coordinate P, the Y coordinate is equal to 10. And so that's going to be equal to Y1 plus Y2 over 2. And let's substitute in 6 for Y1. So now I've got 10 equals 6 plus Y2 over 2. We're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 2. And so 2 times 10 is 20. On the right side, the 2 in the denominator is going to cancel out. And so we got 6 plus Y2. And let's subtract 6 from both sides. And when we do, 20 minus 6 is 14. And that's going to be equal to the y2 coordinate for G. And so then our answer is G is going to equal the coordinate, the ordered pair for that is -2, 14. Shazam. Well, I feel like I need a little bit more practice, so I'm going to do another one. All right, well, this time I got the same instructions. I got the same segment, e.g., P is supposed to be the midpoint. I'm trying to find a missing, P is the midpoint, and I'm trying to find a missing endpoint. And again, I'm going to sketch this thing out. I'm going to try to make that a little straighter, try not to be quite so sloppy. All right, so here's E. We don't know what the coordinate of it is. Here's G. Here's an endpoint, and we're told that G is 5, 6. P, we're told, is the midpoint, and it's got a coordinate of -1, 3. That's its ordered pair. And we're going to go about this the same way. So I'm going to set P, again, well, let me write this out. P, X, Y would be equal to X1 plus X2 over 2, comma, X2, Y1, Y1 plus Y2 over 2. Now I'm going to break that formula into its two parts. So we're going to say here that P of X is equal to X1 plus X2 over 2. We're going to substitute in for P of X what we're given, which is -1. So P of X is -1. And X1 is what we're trying to find. X1 plus the X2 coordinate is 5 over 2. We're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 2 so that we can cancel out this being divided by 2. And so 2 times -1 is -2. That's equal to X1 plus 5. And now we want to subtract 5 from both sides. And so when we do, -5, -2 is -7. So the X1 coordinate for E is -7. Now let's do the P of Y coordinate. So I got P of Y equals Y1 plus Y2 over 2. We're going to substitute in 3 for P of Y. Y1 is what we're trying to find. Let me write this right up here. X1, Y1, okay. Y1 plus Y2, and Y2, that's the G coordinate of 6. This is over 2. We're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 2. 3 times 2 is 6. On the right-hand side, that's going to cancel out. And I got Y1 plus 6. Well, I want to subtract 6 from both sides, and 6 minus 6 is 0. So 0 is going to equal Y1. And so my E coordinate, then, using that midpoint formula, is -7, 0. Oh, I just love it. Get some practice. It'll do you good.